All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Forgive me, this is my very first time doing this on the platform I'm using. Hello. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. I will be moderating comments on my iPad. So if you hop on here, I will do my very best to make sure that I am responding to comments. And you know what? I actually want to make sure this is set up on comments as well. I can see why people like to, have people that help them. Hi, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Meredith. I am the creator of Arts and Classy, and I thought it would be fun to start this fun little weekly crafting series. So today, and I feel like if I were really doing this like, you would see on TV, I would probably have a finished product already, just to show you what we're making. But you know what? We're going to go on this journey together today. I honestly have not made this craft before, and I want to keep it real. So if you want to join me, I believe in the comments or I believe on the lives, there's a list of the different, the different supplies that I'm going to be using, but I'm going to walk you through it as well. I'm also going to make sure that I have this downloaded and re-uploaded on Facebook. I believe it's going to stay on YouTube. So if you want to go back and watch it, you can. Now, since this is my first live and I'm not really used to doing this as frequently as maybe I would have liked to in the past, I don't know how many of you will be joining me live, but I thought at the very least you'll be able to join me afterwards. So this is what we're going to be making. We're going to be making some cheesecloth ghosts. So what you're going to need first is we're going to start with a foam ball. If you have some like shish kebab skewers, we're going to be using some of those. We're going to be using some cheesecloth. So make sure you have cheesecloth, maybe a foam brush, some scissors, if you're worried about textures like I am, some gloves, and a container to put Mod Podge in. So we're going to be using Mod Podge as well. You can also use like Elmer's glue if you want. Elmer's glue with like a little bit of water mixed into it. That can be like another version. You can also buy like, fabric stiffener if you want to do that too. So first of all, we need to make sure that we have a beverage. So I'm drinking, I'm kind of obsessed with these poppy sodas. I don't know if anyone else has had them before. I think Olipop and poppy sodas are my like two favorites because they are definitely a lot healthier than the real thing. And they actually taste good. I don't know if it's just that I've gotten used to it. But cheers. Grab your drink of choice. And let's go ahead and get into this. So I'm probably going to put gloves on here in just a moment, but we're going to start first by getting into this. And now I would also like to ask for those of you joining, even if you're joining the replay, where are you joining from? I'm just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where I'm joining from. And I'm excited that you're here. So thanks for being here. Now we're going to start by using our skewers. You can trim them as much as you want. I already have, this is essentially what we're going to be doing. I created two different versions, and these foam balls that I have, I got a variety pack off Amazon. I believe it is the one linked in the description. But I am going to use one of each, and I'm hopeful that I'll have enough cheesecloth to do all of them. If not, I'll end up doing two. So we're going to roll with it. So you're going to take your skewer and you're going to poke it through your foam ball. And you're just going to try and do it. I like to use the pointy end. That makes it a lot easier. Hopefully you all can hear me okay. Let me double check this. One moment. Can you hear me now? Okay, awesome. You can. Awesome. Great. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to just do 3 of them. And now you want them to kind of seem like you want them to be around the same height because you want it to be able to stand on its own. This is actually just a structure that we're building so that we can drape the cheesecloth over. So with that said, now that we have this going on, let me get this out of the way. Trying to make sure I had proper sound. So as you can see, I have a lovely microphone here. I'm also recording it on my lapel mic as well. Okay, so I ordered this cheesecloth on Amazon also. I'm sure there are places you can get it elsewhere. I'm sure probably Dollar Tree has it. I've just never looked for it there. And I've been seeing this craft going around on, it shows up on my Instagram feed, it shows up on my Pinterest, and I'm like, this is adorable. And I feel like it's very easy. We'll see. Hopefully I'm right. But we're going to start with our, whatever ghost you want to make first. I'm making my tallest one first. And we're going to just test out to make sure the length of the cheesecloth is right. So we're essentially going to drape it. Ooh. We're going to drape it. All right. Because we want it to kind of, I guess, lay a little bit longer because it's going to kind of pull out. And that's going to be where it's essentially going to be like how this stands on its own, because we're going to be removing the ball and the skewers once it's dried. So what I'm going to do is, I think this is probably a good amount. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And I'm actually going to cut like two of these at this length. All right. So we got one. Now we just need to use this as a guide to cut the next ones, or the next one, I should say. Ooh, I see we have someone else that has joined us, I think probably on YouTube. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I can see my comments over here on StreamYard, which is the platform I'm using to stream right now. This is my first time using it. Okay. We're going to cut the same size piece. And I have a feeling I don't have enough cheesecloth to do all three. So we're going to just do two of them. Maybe I'll do the big one and I'll do the little one. And this doesn't need to look perfect. You don't need to act as if you're like working at a fabric store, having all that space. It's okay if it's messy. All right. So let me move that one behind me. All right. So we have two lengths of our cheesecloth. We're going to drape them over just to make sure we got everything covered. And we're liking how it pulls before we get into kind of the messier piece of this. All right, so perfect. So now what we're going to do is we are going to be filling up a container. You can use a jar, a regular bowl. You could use whatever you have available to pour your Mod Podge or your glue into it. So you're gonna, and this is where it gets a little bit messy. So if you want to use gloves, I recommend it. Otherwise, I'm gonna need to like wipe my hands off every 2 seconds. When it comes to sticky things and gritty things on my hands, it's like very distracting. Even if it doesn't make sense, I feel like I have to wash my hands like every time I touch something, as opposed to just like waiting until it's, I've done what I'm doing and I can wash my hands then. It just, like I said, texture thing for some reason. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to pour our Mod Podge. And I'm going to start with less is more, because I don't want to. Mod Podge isn't the cheapest. I mean, you definitely can get smaller bottles of this at some Dollar Trees, unless they get bought out, because it seems like that's pretty common. I also do have paper surface on my desktop so that I don't make a mess. It's easier to just wipe it off. So soaking up the cheesecloth really, really well, or I should say the cheesecloth is soaking up the Mod Podge really well. Okay. I just want to make sure it's completely covered. I want every single spot of this to be stiff when it dries. Wow, that used up all the Mod Podge, so good to know. So we're going to just drape it. We're going to kind of unfurl it a little bit. So if you're joining me on the replay, let me know how your week was. What did you do this week? How was work? My work was good. I was busy, but it's always good busy. I love my full-time job that I have. Very grateful. Okay, so we've done one, and now we are going to go into the next layer. Trying to make as little of a mess as I can. Never easy. But yeah, it is only August, 19th? But I decorated for fall last weekend, mostly in my living room. I still have more to do. I'm doing most of my house like harvest fall, but I decided that I'm going to decorate my office in spooky. So you'll notice behind me, I do have a couple of kind of spookier decorations, but I actually have more that I'm going to be adding to it this weekend. So I'm very excited to share the big reveal, because I'm like, I don't know. I definitely am more of a fall harvest kind of decorator. I just love fall. It's like, I think I have more fall decorations than I do for any other season. It's just my absolute favorite. And from there, but there's like, I always get like really excited when I see people that are posting the, their spooky decorations. I'm like, gosh, I so want to do that, but I feel like I'm not, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm not ready to commit to spooky quite yet. We're going from summer to fall to spooky. You know what I mean? I don't know. These are the rules I make up in my brain. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. As you can see, we have like you can kind of finagle however you want it to look. And you can also get like a tray, which is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a tray. That way it doesn't stick to the paper as it dries. So this is the tray I got thrifting. I actually have a lot more thrifting projects coming out too that I'm excited to share. If you haven't seen on my Instagram, actually, I just started posting more of my reels on my Facebook as well. I don't know. I kind of felt like Facebook was kind of dying. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else felt that way, but that's how I felt. And it made it really hard to like want to be here too. You know what I mean? So I now realize it is not, and I need to stop my belly aching about it. And I'm actually excited to like re-engage with everybody over here. Yeah, let me know in the comments below, or on the comments, if like you have ever thought like Facebook was going to go away, because I want to make sure I'm not, I'm not alone. Okay. So now we're going to take the rest of our cheesecloth and we're going to do the exact same thing on the smaller one that I have. I'm going to move this guy out of the way since we won't be using him today. We're just going to unfold our cheesecloth. And if you have any ideas of like a craft that maybe you want to see me try next, I'm definitely open to feedback. Like I want to make sure I'm making things that I think you all would like to make, and some things that you would enjoy that would be easy and affordable and not take forever. Which this one's proving to be like that. I will say that we're not going to be able to necessarily completely finish it today. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably pop on here tomorrow just to show the reveal, like whether that's live or maybe I'll just show a photo or a video of the after. But I'm excited to be able to display these here in my office. Now, I've also seen people use, what do you call it? Like little, like metal skewers with like a loop on the end, and they like crisscross them. So the ghost kind of has hands as you like drape it over and it dries. So I thought that was kind of a cute idea, but I decided to go a little more simple today. So if you do feel compelled to do that, you can always look. I think I found so many YouTube videos, and also, and even shorter clips on what do you call it? Instagram, just kind of showing you how. All right, so we're all covered here. I'm going to cover this guy. And any ideas for names for these ghosts? What should we name them? And I guess my next question for you, for those of you joining live or even watching the replay, what's your favorite Halloween movie to watch? Do you have a favorite, like a classic? I love rewatching movies from like my childhood. And I think my top ones are like Practical Magic, Hocus Pocus, of course. Even like I feel like Harry Potter is kind of like a autumnal it's an autumnal, what do you call it, autumnal themed video or movie. Right, so this definitely soaks up the Mod Podge like really fast. I just want to make sure that everything is covered. And then we're going to drape this guy. All right, so we're going to move this one to the tray also. It's already starting to stick. I just want to make sure they both have enough space to like dry, but like not get in the way of the shape of how these dry. Anyways, so once, there we go. Just want to make sure that this is covering enough. All right, I think that's good. A little more coverage. One thing I like about the fact that this doesn't like dry immediately is that you can go back in and fix things that maybe you want to. I can also go in with my Mod Podge and a foam brush if I want to get some areas that maybe I don't feel like enough. I'm feeling like this area didn't. Okay. So I guess like the tedious piece of this project is going to just be making sure that you're laying the cheesecloth the way that you want it to before it dries. Okay. And if you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to like drop it in the chat. And I will do my very best to go back later. I realize this is also streaming to YouTube. So YouTube, I'm sorry if I was talking a little bit more to Facebook, but I'm going to try to be working smarter, not harder, and be in two places at once. Okay. All right. I think I feel pretty good about this. What do you all think so far? I think I'm just going to make sure it's like pooling a little bit under. I may finagle it a little bit more, but ultimately this is where we're going to leave it so that it can dry. And then tomorrow, the next step essentially will be you can either keep them like this, but you're going to remove the stick and the little ball that kind of creates the shape of the head. And you can just leave it as is and just display it where you want, or you can give them like little ghost eyes. So you can do like little black eyes and a little mouth if you want. I've seen people do it in either direction. I've also seen people use like a cloche with like a pedestal, like to kind of put it in under one of those. So I do have a couple of those coming possibly. So I may display them just depending. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this project, or at least enjoyed sitting and watching me craft a little bit. Like I said, I want to try and make this more of a regular thing that I'm going to be doing moving forward, at least once a week. I also want to try to do more of this like on Pinterest Live as well. I've done one Pinterest Live in the past and it was pretty fun. I had a lot of people join in. So yeah, let me know in the comments, what project would you want to see me make next? And, you know, is there a specific day of the week that you would feel like would be better? Because I typically work weird hours. I work on Pacific Coast time. So I typically work like in the early afternoon till like 11 o'clock at night Eastern time. So the Monday through Thursday isn't necessarily the best choice for me. I could do Friday nights possibly. But ultimately I felt like either Saturday or Sunday would be best. But you all tell me, I am all ears. Anyways, I hope that you have a great Saturday. Thanks for being here and happy decorating for the fall season. I'm hoping that because I decorated, it means cooler weather is coming. So, all right, everyone, I hope that you have a great rest of your day and I will see you here next week for another fun craft that I'm going to try and do a little more planning ahead for. So we have like the finished product first. Anyways, all right, everyone, I hope you have a great day and I'll talk to you soon.